Walk on the road. Walk right side, safe. Walk left side, safe. Walk middle. Sooner or later, get the squish, just like grape.
You stole my heart, you intercepted it. Now you're gone, have to accept it. Did I meet your mom too soon? Or did I do what I always do? Yeah, we made it to the 50, and then you kissed me. We made it to the 40, a new love story. We made it to the 30, and you did me dirty right then. You put the end in tight end, and as I touched down, just like you in a game, I'm in another town, and nothing feels the same. Wish I could go back when we met that day. Oh, whoa, and throw a flag on the play. If all of the kings had their queens on the throne, we would pop champagne and raise a toast.
So waiting
to all of the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own.
Let's go.
Without me, you wanna, but you get na. Think it's funny, but honey, can't run the show on your own. I can feel my body shake. There's only so much I can take. I'll show you how a real queen behaves. No damsel in distress, don't need to save me. Once I stop breathing fire, you can't tame me. And you might think I'm weak without a sword, but if I had one, it'd be bigger than yours. If all of the kings had their queens on the throne, we would pop champagne and raise a toast to all of the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own.
She's the queen and I'm just lucky to get close to the throne. I'm not worthy, but she's taking me home. Yeah. No damsel in distress, don't need to save her. She's a goddess, I would never try to change her. She knows she got my world inside of her palm, but she can have whatever she wants.
All of the kings had their queens on the throne. We would pop champagne and raise a toast to all of the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own.
Let's go. I'm a queen, I'm a boss, I'm a brat. Hella independent, I get this, I get that. Shout out to the girls from the burp to the trap. I don't need a man for shit, put myself on the map. Oh, and they thought I was done. I ain't even hit my peak and I'm still on the run. I'm like Lolo on the lap, I'm running the track. Only time I see it, L's in a luxury tax. And my whole team when they post a pic just because they're like, oh, she chillin'. $1 million deals and my lipstick still it. I need acrylic nails, I don't need no critics. So witty gon' glow, so witty gon' shine. Circle full of tens, I don't see no nines. My name on they lips, my name on they mind. How I take it from the block to the Hollywood sign.
All of the kings had their queens on the throne. We would pop champagne and raise a toast to all of the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own.
Hold on. Hold on.
Wait.
All stop. If you want to listen to the rest of this one, you got to go to his channel. Okay, Lasman has a song now. I gotta hear the quack. Oh my!
What?
Oh my!
The unholy fuck is that?
Welcome,
What?
welcome, Mandy Winters. We got, dude. This is a Outer Pangea Crapcast exclusive here. Live reaction. Look at this.
That's fucking gay.
I fucking love it already.
Yes!
Yeah, you got a new intro, bro.
Have you ever had any beer?
Oh no!
Oh, talk to the chat.
He's ready for the feast. He will not cheat. Police. Call him the Duck Lord.
The Duck Lord.
Duck Lord. The Duck Lord. Yeah.
Watch him post his shower shows. And watch him post his tunnel. His books are all about the beast. He's ready for the feast.
My gun hurts. Oh, God.
What the hell is that?
It's a clock person. It's such a detail. It's a clock person.
Oh, it's goddamn clock people. Damn it.
He's ready for the feast. He will not
I'm dying.
police.
Wow. Goddamn clock people. We're back.
Absolutely beautiful.
Oh no!
And thank you, Mr. Duckman.
Okay, that's it. That's strike three.
Shoot.
Behind the fire and smoke, a beautiful city now, a war zone, fighting in streets, no time to joke. Just pray we survive, pray we're not alone. The dangers around the corners of every street, but we won't back down. We won't admit defeat. We need a hero, a
I just can't start a stream. I can't start a stream without harassment in the chat. It's like clockwork. Like clockwork. I had to just shut my cam for a second to make sure that my mic is working because I don't like starting a stream and I'm giving a beautiful soliloquy only to find out that none of you's heard it. And I get this harasser right here trying to throw in his jabs at me. I'm a human being. I'm not AI, Job. I'm a human being. I have feelings. I have emotions. I have desires, aspirations, and goals. People like me. So if you think that AI music is better than listening to me, then I feel very sorry for you. I really do. But I will pray for you. I will pray for agape love in your life. You deserve agape love. Everyone deserves agape love. Hail to the chat. We had a little Matt Barade. They came in here, gave their 2 seconds of beautiful, beautiful engagement, and led me to the birds. So I appreciate you. I definitely appreciate the Pac love that I got. Lord Nemesis, hail to the chat. Lord Nemesis, hail to you. We got a Raptor Jesus sighting. He's in the chat. He says, woo. Oh, Dirty Fatty. Yes, Dirty. I have real feelings. This is verifiable. I absolutely do. That's why I get upset when guys like Raptor want to put their little emojis and harass me. And here's Cal with the violence again, as usual. She wants to throw tables at me. Beautiful violence. My girlfriend Kirby Kirby's in the chat. Hail Kirby Kirby. What is agape love? It's one of the three kinds of loves that is expressed in the scriptures. Agape love is supposed to be the unconditional love. So I give agape love to my enemies. Because why not? Lady Fairlane in the chat. Hail Ducklord, she says. Lady Fairlane in the chat. Bear, one of my abusers, is in the chat as well. My good friend Hothead Studios leading the charge. Who else? Massive Panda, Valley Law. Welcome to the two of yous. Hail to you guys in the chat. And of course, there's a Carol Code. I did mention Carol Codes because I have to document the harasser. She's not becoming the main harasser of the ranks of the harassers. Dark If Comics is in the chat. He's hail Dark If Comics. Michael Desjardins. Desjardins? Did I say it right, Michael? Desjardins? Is that how you say it? Desjardins? Is that how it is? I don't care. I'm a POC. I'm allowed to rule the English language. Oh yeah, somewhere in the chat there's a J-Doll site. So yeah, J-Doll's in the chat. So he's there. Carbon dioxide. Yes, I would never not mention carbon dioxide tonight. Later on in the chat, I'm going to bring on Matt C because he put out a tweet sometime early this week about a book, and it caught my attention. So I said, let me bring him on and have him maybe be entertaining for 10, 15 minutes and share his thoughts on a book. I'll get to that in a second. But my Rumble channel is growing. Hail to the people watching on Rumble. I gained a couple of new followers there. So we're building the chat. Yes, Jadal, I gave you a shout out. See, I acknowledged you. I totally acknowledge you. No, Bear, I'm telling you not to. I'm absolutely telling you not to. Please don't. Why are you encouraging her, Lord Raptor? Why are you encouraging? See, I was going to plug your show for tonight, but now you can forget it. You can forget it. I am not plugging your show. I'm just checking. Yep, mic's still working. I will not plug your show now. I will plug the Slum Show with Dark Gift. And after that, I'm going to tell people, go read a book after the Slum Show. Go read a book, go watch a movie, but don't watch Lord Raptor because he's aiding and abetting in abusers and harassers every day. Every day. Yes, Mr. Kumbaya is back. Dark Gift in the chat. I think that's who he's talking about with Mr. Oh, you talking about Matt C. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, Dark Gift is offensive. Matt C's the Kumbaya. Well, he did say he might be a little. Well, this isn't the word he used, but he said tipsy. So he might be a little entertaining when I bring him on. We'll see. Maybe not. That's a big promise to make. So you did call me one of your abusers. It seems like I should live up to it. I'm not trying to encourage you. I'm just saying you could do better. Be better. Be butter. Be Willikers. See, look, she types this 3 times in the chat because that's how much she wants people to notice the violence that she's perpetrating on me. I can't even say the words right. No, I'm not betraying. I am just documenting the hate and the pain. I listened to myself on a stream last week. I actually listened to the last stream, and I was taking some clips to put on Twitter to promote my stuff and add a short or two for my YouTube channel. And I noticed I got to take more breaks when I talk and put more variations on the tone of my voice. it's an exercise in skill. So I will do my best to change it up a little bit, give myself room to breathe. Massive Panda says, you usually stream on Thursdays, right? What made you want to switch to Wednesday? Well, tomorrow I'm going to go out tomorrow. So I'm taking my lady out tomorrow to see Godzilla 1985 at the local drive-in theater. I have not seen a Godzilla film in a drive-in theater, so I'm going to go check it out. There's actually going to be at least 2 nights of Godzilla at the drive-in theater. So I'm going to go and just turn my back on the computer and just try to live life a little bit. That's the plan anyway. So that's why I'm streaming tonight. If Dark Gift does his cockfight stream next Thursday, then I'll stream next Wednesday as well. But until I hear otherwise, I'll be back next Thursday on my regular scheduled time. Bear says, too much betrayal about being friend. I never said you were my friend. I just said that you should be nice. Be nice. Yes, Dark Gift, she is a sadist and a sociopath. This is all confirmed. Oh, Lady Fairlane. Why, Lady Fairlane? Why? Why do you do that? No, I don't like having you around. I just have to document you so people know I'm not making shit up. So that they know that you're a real person and not a figment of my imagination. Yes, I do those things. Believe it or not, I do those things. Yes. Believe it or not, I'm not a Spurg on real life. I play one on streams. I am not one in real life. I actually am pretty down to earth. This is all kayfabe. Absolute kayfabe. But not Carol. She's not kayfabe. She's a real harasser. Totally abusive in real time. She threw a table at me, and those damn ducks multiplied. That rubber duck she got me, it multiplied. I put it on Twitter. Now there's a family of them on that table she crafted just to abuse me with. So you guys remember last week we did our stream on Eckhart Breitschuh, the German comic book artist and the creator of, what was that character's name again? Lubbo Wolfschwanz, aka Lubbo Wolftail. And we talked about how his style was similar to that of Mike Mignola, of all people. So I said the next couple of streams are going to be dedicated to some international artists or foreign artists. We'll call them foreign because I like using the word foreign because I can. So foreign artists, because he was actually fun to watch and opened up some doors for like more awareness and other creators and characters from other countries, because there's a whole world out there of comics that some of us have not been privy to. We're holding on to characters in our country that's being poisoned by DEI, by ESG, by blue-haired nose-ring feminists who hate men. So we need to go out of our country and look for some awesome characters and history elsewhere. Yes, Dark Gift. I'm sure she has. So we did Eckhart Breitschuh, and today we're doing a Chilean artist by the name of Pepo. And very quickly on Pepo, he was a famous because he passed away in 2000, but he's a very famous Chilean cartoonist. His most famous character was a character called Condorito, which we will talk about in a bit. He's actually the character in the thumbnail for the stream, which stands for a little condor. But yeah, he was a caricaturist in his native Chile. In one of his earlier cartoons, he mimicked a famous politician in, I think it was Gabriel Videla in Chile, the president of Chile. It was a strip called Don Gabito. Oh yeah, I should hit the share screen, right? Don Gabito was one of his earlier strips. Boom, there we go. Okay. So that's it right there. Let me see if I can enlarge it a little bit. I can't enlarge it, so I'm going to click on it. There we go. Oh, look at that. Much better. Server error. Screw you, server error. So this was a strip he did mimicking or mocking the president of Chile at the time. Gives you... Oh, by the way, he started drawing at the age of 7. So at the age of 7 is when he started drawing, so you can see how at an early age he got his style down pat. Mazapan, it says, Alasma presents Indie Comic Outliers, the POC edition. Well, today's the POC edition, but last week was the pure and wholesome Aryan edition. So we go from Aryan to POC. See, we're international here. True diversity. Diversita. Lady Family says, "You have corny ducks multiplying like that, huh?" I know. It happened. It happened. What do you want me to do? Pretend it didn't happen? I have to document it. Because one day I'm going to stream it and you're going to wonder where I'm at. And I have to document this so you can see the pattern of abuse and plottage against me. I'm not making this up, Fairlane. Not at all. We should have the ability to super chat Carol to flip. No, this is my stream. Stop encouraging her. Stop encouraging her. I confirm nothing, Dark Gibbs. I don't know what you're talking about. Why don't I do a stream about a comic artist? You guys in the chat have to derail it with violence and hatred. And I mean, hail to the chat. Lady Fairlane says, "Oh." Massive Panda with an art-related comment for once. He says, "Ink and brush for the lines with the thin watercolor." Well, I said that was such a fucking accent. Let me say it again. Ink and brush for the lines with thin watercolor for the tones, maybe? Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. I like this type of stuff. There you go. Yeah, this is his earlier stuff. His later stuff gets more cartoonish because he dedicated it to one character. But the character in particular was Condorito. He created it in 1949. And what happened was Disney, let's see how many Disney fans we have in the audience. Disney created a live-action animated feature film called Saludos Amigos. It predated The Three Caballeros. And it was also the first appearance of Jose Carioca. You guys remember Jose Carioca, right? It was this guy right here. He appeared in Saludos Amigos as well as The Three Caballeros. And Disney made that movie as a propaganda piece to kind of like build relations with South America. And of course, as I mentioned, South America, KSS has to come back with the Luis Guzman propaganda. Stop with the Luis Guzman propaganda. We're talking about South America, not the Bronx. Damn it. Yeah, he's in the Saludos Amigos and The Three Caballeros. If you remember The Three Caballeros, that's the movie with Donald Duck, this guy, Jose Carioca, and that orange Mexican bird, Panchito. And they were one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid. I remember watching that movie on a double bill with Steve Martin's Three Amigos. Those are the days. I didn't have to worry about bills, debt, taxes, and abuse from the chat. Simpler days. Anyway, so Pepo was inspired by this character, so much so that he decided to create his own character, Condorito. Here you go. This is Condorito. This is a panel from one of his comics. And the punchline with Condorito is that he gets into situations, he tells a joke, and it ends with the character flipping over with the sound effect plop. Let me give an example of one particular comic. Let's see here. Let me open up. Okay. Let me see. Let me go to a shorter comic before we go to one of the longer ones. Okay, here we go. This is a good one. So this is in Spanish, so I just happen to speak Spanish, so therefore I will translate it for you. Suspira means to suspect. So Condorito says, "La noche está como para darte un beso, no lo crees así, Clarita?" He says, "The night is ripe for a kiss. Don't you think so, Clarita?" And she goes, "Sí, pero solo uno." She goes, "Yes, but only one." Gives her a peck, and then he goes, "Este beso que te ha dado, ¿no te hace suspirar por otro?" He says, "That kiss you gave me, does it make you remind you of somebody else?" And then she goes, "Sí, pero no quiero que hablamos de esta idiota." She says, "It does, but I don't want to be reminded of that idiot." And by the way, idiot is feminine here, so the implication is she kissed another girl, and the kiss with Condorito reminded her of a kiss with the other girl. And it ends with him falling over and the sound effect plop, which is a staple of that comic. Master Panda says, "I'm in." Damn, look at the definition around those boobs. Ah, yes. I think you're referring to the which image was it? This one right here, right? I think it's what you're referring to. Can't argue with the definition there. KSS says Disney was putting out propaganda for South America, the new home for escaped members of the Nazi Party. It was coincidental, I'm sure. Oh, totally coincidence. Totally coincidence. Yeah, it had nothing to do with it. Clearly had nothing to do with some kind of political gain that Disney, as part of the wing of the CIA. Did I say that out loud? I mean not. What I mean was Disney wanted to do beautiful, nice films for the pox in South America. Because why not? Pothead says, I think I have some Three Caballero comics in some of my Silly Symphonies Omnis. You probably do, because they did have a few of those comics, and they were fun to read. But this one here, Condorito, I read this when I was 8 years old. So I went to Colombia back in 1986. I was 8 years old and visiting Colombia. And my aunt and uncle lived in a town called Villavicencio. And you know how here we have stray cats or raccoons running the streets like nothing? Well, down there they had cows and goats walking the streets like nothing. And you would leave a house and you would see like humongous mountains from across. It's a beautiful sight. It stood in my memory ever since. And I was also exposed to these Condorito comics. And I was like, how come this character is not big in America? And it stayed with me ever since. And then that's when I realized, yeah, each country has their own staple of comic characters that are popular for them. And as we're going to see later on, Condorito did get a feature film that was distributed worldwide, including the US, but it was very dumbed down. We'll get into that in a second. Geek Avenger, he says, are we reviewing alternatives to duck-based? Let me tell you something, Geek Avenger. I stay up late with anxiety and agita, preparing these streams so that I can entertain and enlighten you. And you have to come back here and hurl insults at me like I have a punching bag, like I have a target on me. So I am bringing you some top-notch entertainment. I don't wish to be abused by you or anybody in the chat. He is not an alternative. He is another popular comic book character that we in the US need to know more of, at least in his native form, because when that movie came out in 2017, it really was a dumbed down version of the comics. Is this weird furry stuff? Birds don't have fur. They have feathers, I think. I kid this Geek Avenger. You had me there for a second. I was ready to end the stream and protest. But thank you for clarifying. Massive Panda says, it almost has a style that looks like a fusion of Dan DeCarlo, Bruce Timm, and the visual style from the Jetsons. I dig it. Yeah, you could see like the early Disney inspiration there for his Condorito comics. I would even say that there's a little bit of Tex Avery there. Lord Nemesis, Alasma is giving us Spanish lessons. I charge for those. So you got to be careful because litigation could happen if I give it out for free. I need to be paid for my services. Speaking of being paid, if you guys would like, you should go to my PayPal and donate $1 or $2. And why should you donate $1 or $2? It's simple, because then that way you can't be racist because you're giving money to a POC. So if you pay me money, then you can't be racist. And you get the racism-free card for a few minutes. So I'm giving you guys a way out to not be racist. You have to give me money for that. Oops, Bronto says Geek Avenger. Greetings, my Colin. Oh, you know what? I didn't say hi to Colin earlier. He was in the chat earlier, and I didn't say hi to him. Well, I guess with good reason, because you come at me with that now, with that slur. No reason to. Thoughts on a species known as geese? Are they cool? Geese. They might be foreigners, an invasive species. I will say no more because litigation is ongoing. I'm here to encourage you to simultaneously heckle you. Good natured, this Geek Avenger. Well, glad to have you aboard, Geek Avenger. I like when you're around. You're one of those that actually adds to the stream in spite of just being a lot mean to me. And same thing with Fiona. She's very learned and gives some great content, but cute to the quacker. Really, Fiona? That's what I'm relegated to? Really? I'm going to skip a few comments. I'm behind as usual, but you guys are on fire. Yes, that is true, Lady Family. They're all beasts. That's all I care about. Although with Condorito, this is what separates him from Road Warrior Drake. Condorito is very similar to both Howard the Duck and Cerebus in that he has a human girlfriend. Personally, for me, I find it weird, but in South America, it adds to the humor. Yeah, there's my PayPal if you want to donate to me $1 or $2. I can, coffee money is always good. But yeah, he has that in common with Cerebus, his human girlfriend. And there is actually jokes in the comics disparaging his mother-in-law. You have to understand Spanish humor to know that we accept that because mother-in-laws are just the bane of our existences. Anyway, KSS says, when Alasma was a kid, he went to visit his family in Colombia. He asked his Uncle Pablo why the bird comic wasn't popular in the US. Uncle Pablo said, because my cocaine is, my boy. Kay says that is the unspoken truth. The magic powder is truly what feeds our kids every day. Gatekeeping and sent. No, I am keeping my chat pure. There's a difference. I thought only Italians got agita, says Phil's book. Well, I am a multi-ethnic POC, so it could be that I have a little Italian in me. No, I'm sorry, Italian. Do I have a human girlfriend or is she a duck? That is sick. That is so sick. I don't do bestiality. I've never done bestiality. This is one of the staples of me streaming, even going back to 2021. I have never done bestiality. Why do you accuse me of such horrendous acts against nature? I am not a bestialist. I'm a human being. And Java's making fun of me. You can't make fun of me. That's actually that elevates me among my slum peers. That I actually have a human lady. Fiona Wolf says, I just gotten to the point where I'll do my best to kick my brain away from complaining. You know, I have learned the less you complain, the less your skin retracts into a series of wrinkles, and it does help you sleep at nights. I will say that. So, but yeah, Condorito was a just like Popeye was a reflection of Depression era America. Condorito was a reflection of the Chilean people. Very fresh, very street level, not smooth, and always getting into trouble. So, and yes, there was a lot of dark humor in the comics. Beautiful dark humor, like misogyny. What else? Jokes about alcoholism, being stupid, insanity, infidelity, ethnic jokes. It was great. This was before political correctness. These old comics had a gold mine of just pure adult-oriented entertainment, and it wasn't, adult-oriented in that it was like kids couldn't read it. It's just that they didn't give fucks. They gave no fucks. They just said, we're gonna make fun of it, and you're gonna like it. And people loved it in Chile, not just in Chile, but in all South America. As I stated before, Colombia had this comic going in circulation. Kirby says, Aladdin, can we hear the stream in Spanish in the white accent instead of the Spanish accent? You want me to read it in Spanish? Hold on. Let me get a comic in Spanish. Kirby's giving me. I'll tell you about Kirby. If somebody donates $1, and yes, I'm asking only for $1. Somebody can donate me $1. I will read the next comic in English accented Spanish, and I'll sound as stupid as I can sound. So I will do that for a donation. Bear says it could just be a rubber one job. Oh, you leave me alone, Bear. Leave me alone. I'm banning you from the chat. I was trying to be nice and not complain, but you had to ruin it. You destroyed our family, Bear. You crippled us. Fiona Wolf says, America has too much grimdark, but I'll try to showcase what I'm reading or spending Audible credits on instead. Let me see. He may not do bestiality, but he certainly has beast citizens. Yeah, beast citizen representation is important for my Street Road Warrior Drake book. Speaking of Road Warrior Drake, the crowdfunder is actually ending this week, which is just as well. I'm going to go ahead and let it close out, and then I'm going to wait a couple months till I have, or at least close to a finished book, and then I'm going to do a second chance campaign on Fund My Comic. And what I'll do is once I have a complete book, I'll open it up, a second chance campaign on Fund My Comic. We'll get some more eyes on that platform and try to raise more money for people that would like to see a complete book. But here you go. Here's you got a couple of days left till this campaign closes. It's roadwarriordrake.com. And as you've been following my Indie Outlier stream, you know very well that my artwork and my style and my presentation mirrors a lot of these comics. So I come from the same cloth. If you're a fan of these Outlier type books, you will be right at home reading not just Beast Citizen Road Warrior Drake, but the prequel, Street Champion Road Warrior Drake. Get both graphic novels with complete stories. I have to stress, these graphic novels are complete stories. They're not prologues. They're not pieces of a story. They're not exposition trying to prepare you for a quote-unquote bigger story down the road. These are complete stories. Are they connected? Yes. They're connected because they tell the overall life saga of Road Warrior Drake. But these books, rest assured, are complete stories. They have a beginning, a middle, and a resolution. So you will definitely get your money's worth, and you will find investment in these books. They're going to be a wonderful addition to your library, guaranteed. I don't have duck fetishes, Jabba. I don't have duck fetishes. You know, but I know who does though. You do, because you commission some horrific books with some disgusting animal. I can't even say because I'll get demonetized, and I'm not even monetized, and I'll get demonetized. BCLE is new CG. So you know what? You're not wrong. You might not be wrong. You might not be wrong. Yikes. Geek Avenger is typing from Google Translation. He says, sé un poco de español. ¿Dónde está el baño, por favor? He says, I know a little Spanish. Where is the bathroom, please? If you ever get lost in a country in South America and you have to know one sentence, that is a sentence to learn. Sir, where is the bathroom? Because if you have to escape from the cartel or anybody else, at the very least, you could take a nice little shit before your final moments. Because the worst thing that can happen to you is you can get tortured and killed by the cartel and your intestine is full of shit. That's very uncomfortable. So if you're going to go out comfortably. I think anyway. Why is why isn't the chat doing something about, why is the moderators let this guy continue to harass me? He's derailing my stream. I'm showing my book. And he's derailing my stream. Why are you allowing this to happen? Why are you allowing this to happen? I like actual Colombian coffee, says Canada. I do too. It's very good. I am missing Fox News for this, says Carbon Dioxide. This better be a good stream. This is better than this is Fox News. You know why? Because I don't flip-flop. I swing only one way, and I don't flip-flop. Hello, Katie Did. Welcome to the stream. Oh, no. And of course, Carol Colors continuing with the harassment. I will be starting a campaign on Fund My Comic Thank you for telling me. So I will message Luke Stone. And I will tell him to gatekeep the fuck out of you for putting that book on there. I won't allow it. I can't allow it. What about Zoop? Elasmat. What about Zoop? I'm gonna see. Let me see, because I am open to doing that second chance campaign, and I love shilling the roadwarrior.com URL. So we'll see. Maybe I'll just continue. Like, what I'll do is maybe I'll let a month or two pass and then reopen the campaign on From My Comic. That way I build more anticipation with more new pages being produced. Like this one, for example. This is one I did a couple of days ago. I love how it looks. And once I add the graphics and other panels, it's going to be awesome. So I'm really digging the art style and how this is looking. And I think you will too. So did I have a campaign on IGG? Yes, and it was shadow banned. It was absolutely shadow banned. So therefore, I will no longer be platforming on Indiegogo. It will just be From My Comic and then Kickstarter, and we'll go from there. So no, you can wait Bear for Cal's campaign because it's not going to happen. I'm not going to allow it. Anxiously awaiting release. Is that my book, or are you talking about the Carol Colors apocryphal trademark violation? I don't even know anymore these people. I don't know anymore. KSS says, Elasmat could have sold cocaine like his Uncle Pablo, but no, he had to do comic. Look, I'm allowed, KSS. I'm allowed to do my own thing. I can do my own thing. No, I don't want to cancel you. I just want to push litigation against you so that you don't hurt my business. That's all. That's all I want to do. I'm just trying to save my community by not having you do your peanut book. I think I'm allowed to do that. No, I don't owe any of those things. I just own my book and my property. I can do those things. And I know you have your army of people in the chat encouraging you, and I'm documenting all of it because it needs to be documented. Hope you're having a good day. Hump day, Burl. Birthday. Cass. Birthday. Oh, it is Wednesday, isn't it? Yes. It is not the official prequel. It is not the official prequel. It is, what's the word? Apocryphal. Absolute apocryphal. Did I make him unmoderated? Well, I gotta unmod him because I can't allow him to continue harassing me. I need one less harasser in my chat. There's too many harassers. Luke and I are he's probably afraid of you, just like I am. I think he fears for you. You probably threw a table at him and he had no choice but to acquiesce because what's another table except another limb broken? I'm onto you. Gays of Fox News is carbon dioxide. And that's why you should turn to me. Because I am not Fox News. Oh, my book. Yes, my book is definitely going to be good. I think you're definitely going to enjoy it. Absolutely. If we back to IGG, but we still got to... Oh, yeah, no, if you back to IGG, absolutely. Like, all I did get backers in IGG, so your tier is safe for sure. So absolutely. As a matter of fact, I don't know for those that backed the first two books. If you back Street Champion Road Warrior Drake, what I'll do is I'll probably send those out first while the second book is being produced. That way you don't gotta wait too long. So for those that backed both books, I'm gonna send out Street Champion Road Warrior Drake first, just to get the ball rolling on y'all trying to be part of the Road Warrior Drake family. A cocaine fueled Road Warrior Drake comic. Well, I mean the books feature the Sparkplug fueled citizens of Skullkill. So in a way, there is a drug theme in the books, but we say no to drugs because Nancy Reagan was right. We all you gotta do is say no, and they go away magically. I love visiting Colombia, says Kaya says. At 5'7", he's you stop it. I am big. I'm tall. I'm an average sized man. You stop it. Collins, I can moderate for you. Did I give you a rent? Let's see, are you next in line to be a moderator? I gotta see because how is my chat doing? Because I don't know what the ratio is. Okay, it's a decent ratio, so I'll get back to that one. I'll see how it goes in terms of the ratio. Going on a little bit here. Make Colombian cocaine fueled Road Warrior Drake coffee like Tim Pool. You're right. It's all in the merch, I guess. Kirby here is telling me I'll translate this because I don't have to read it twice. He says, "Friends, shit. Let me see. Tal vez me perderé el resto de las transmisiones. I lost the rest of the transmission. I'm gonna miss the rest of the stream. I'm taking my son. Llevar a mi hijo a chequeo de bebé. Oh, he's taking his grandson for a checkup. He's gonna see us later. Oh, Kirby, wish them my love and my luck. So, thank you. Just average, says Lady Fairly. Well, I guess not where it counts. But anyway, carbon dioxide says Mexican is for un-American people. This is tried and true. You shout it to the mountains, carbon dioxide. Shout it to the mountains. Mexicans are for un-American people. Because why not? Collins, my great-great-grandma loved cocaine and Coca-Cola, apparently, and was sad when they removed it. Yeah, people think Coca-Cola didn't get called it because of cocaine. That's exactly why it was called Coke. Anyway, I'm kind of deviating from the stream just a little bit. Anyway, let's get back to Condorito. Here's a comic here from Condorito. Let me see if I can enlarge it. Let's see. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but let's see. He's going through the train. He's got a ride to catch. The conductor says, hago entrega de esta excomienda. Lo bautizaría ahora mismo. Okay. Trying to read the so in certain countries in South America, some of the dialect can deviate just a little bit. So it looks like okay, I see what's going on. So the conductor is presenting this girl Condorito, and he's going to take her to his local church to get baptized. So that's where they're going. So he goes to the I guess this is the church clerk, and he says, "Lo presento a mi sobrina Kumba." Sobrino, his grandson, not his nephew, sobrino's nephew. So I present to you my nephew Kumba, and the clerk says, "He's very handsome. What's his name?" And he goes, "What?" He says, "Coñe. Coñe. That's probably his name." The clerk says, "Qué raro, ese nombre no compadre. Okay, qué raro ese nombre, compadre. No lo había oído nunca." He says, "That's an interesting name, fellow Godfather. I've never heard it before." Or Godbrother. Compadre is kind of like saying Godbrother in English. And comadre is like saying, so like when you in the Catholic Church, when you are chosen as someone's godmother, that parent will refer to as comadre, or kind of like a God's sister in a way. It's kind of like saying God's sister. Same thing with like compadre, which is like saying God brother in a way. So the clerk here says, "Y que lo dio por ponerle así." And he says, okay, so Condorito is giving him the baptismal name of Cone, which is weird. Um, ok, so Gómez, mi intención era llamarlo Eugenio, pero cuando el padrecito preguntó, ¿cómo se llama el niño? The priest is asking, what is his name? And he says, Eugenio Padrecito, Eugenio. So he says, Eugene is his name, Eugene. And the priest says, let's see, ¿con qué será pues, hijo? Like, bueno, pues vale, como usted quiera. How would you want it? He says to the priest. El niño se llama Cone. And the clerk plops. So okay, so some of the jokes tend to be local. There's like a certain local joke with the word Cone in Chile. And the clerk just faints because of it, because it's like, why that name? So there's a lot in terms of like the dialect in the native Chile that you'd have to kind of understand to like really get some of the jokes. So you wouldn't just be translating it; you'd have to adapt it for an English-speaking audience to really get the jokes in. Go into the chat for a second. This is a comic with a nice style, says comment. It's a fun-looking comic. Like, even if you don't understand the language, it's a fun-looking comic, and you can kind of tell that it's absurd, it's satirical. Reminds me of Harvey Comics. That's a good point, Geek Advantage. Yeah, like who's that mouse character? Was it Harvey? Yeah, Harvey the mouse. It is similar in style. It's funny because it is a contemporary of those comics, and it's amazing how they're very similar in style. It's almost like they were very familiar with it. There was some Hanna-Barbera influences. Well, this was in the early one. No, this may have been the later comics, because the early comics, what did they look like? Let me show you a sample of what the earlier comics look like. Let me close this down here. I've got so many windows open. Scroll up here for a second. Here we go. Okay. So this right here is what some of the earlier Condorito comics look like. So you can see that, if you remember, I showed you the Jose Carioca picture. He looks exactly kind of like Jose Carioca in terms of the eyes. You can see that they kind of Disney-fied him a little bit. That was the inspiration back then, because that's what they had. They had that visual inspiration from Disney. I've never seen this comic before. Yeah, it is a very popular comic in South America, and you could find online, except they're not in English. So some of them are in English. I think they did translate a few of those in English, but they're mostly in Spanish. But they're very popular. It was popular enough that a British director directed a 3D animated movie in 2017. We'll get to that in a second. Bear says, I can't tell if Elasma actually knows what they're saying or if he is BSing. Different dialect, Bear. Different dialect. Some words are different between native Spanish countries, but I know exactly what they're saying. Gusto, grandes tetas. Me too, Cass. That's me too. If you guys want me to translate that, you'll have to pay me for that. Carmen Nasa says, the only good Mexican comic is George Lopez. Have you heard him lately? He's fucking off his rocker, that guy. He was okay early on, but he's flew off the rocker, that guy. Anyway, Hothead says, I bought a few Raggy Harvey comics on eBay to study cartoony characters. And another example of fun comics for the Harvey characters. I should look into those too for future Outlier streams. Scrolling down here. Dope, says Hothead Studios. Carl Barks' influence for sure, says Late Shove. I think that's the obvious influence is Carl Barks. But as you can see, as you know, Carl Barks was influential with Disney animated cartoons, and they kind of fed off each other. So yeah, Carl Barks was definitely influential across the border. Was Bestiality Road Warrior Drake inspired by Condorito? There's no bestiality in my books, KSS. I told you that. Road Warrior Drake's relationship with Pumpkin Warpatch is a brother-sister relationship. I find one thing I will say I find absolutely weird is when you have anamorphic characters and they tend to have amorous relationships with human beings. I find that weird. It's just, that's one of the things that threw me off of Cerebus was his relationship with Jaga. I get it from a comedic standpoint, but Cerebus kind of went way too dramatic and absolutely absurd in the later years. And it just weirded me out, that relationship. But no, my characters don't practice bestiality. We are anti-bestiality here. My apologies. I only speak English and bad English. I forgive you, Bear. I forgive you. Reminds me of Bruno Bear by Frazetta and his other cartoony work. That's another good inspiration. Yeah, you're right about that. Geeky Bench has Hot Hand Studios. I think most of mine were early 70s when I was a kid. I learned to read from comics. They are a step up from the little children's books like The Pokey Puppy, etc. Well, as I said in my last stream, when you don't focus on the kids, when you do comics, you alienate not just a good chunk of your audience, but you alienate 30, 40 years of a lifespan your character could have in the popular culture. Something to think about. I made that point in the last stream. So, would it be reverse bestiality? Is there that group scene in the long grass? You guys are degenerates. You're degenerates. Stop it. Stop it. I'm not going to be aiding and abetting in this weird. What's wrong with you people? What the hell's wrong with you people? Why do you do this? Why am I not allowed to have a good stream of normalcy without you just polluting it with insane weird? Speaking of insane weirdness, let's share this for example. This is a cartoon. This is a 50-minute animated cartoon. These are cartoons. I'm gonna play the volume low because I don't think they're copyrighted, but you never know. But this is what an average Condorito cartoon looked like years ago. Fair use as he's shooting models. I doubt they're gonna shoot this one. There's no way. Okay, that's pretty based. Because as you know, they don't do cartoons like that because guns. Oh look, it's Amit Reina with his oil updates. What is the price of oil per gallon? Do you know that, or have you gotten out of the business? I would too. So forget I asked that question. Bear says, I used to know some French, but now not so much. Hot says, I got the comics pretty late. If it wasn't moving, I paid it no attention. But from what I learned later on is that animation has its roots in comics, and since then I've been gem hunting. Well, one of the best examples of that is the Fleischer Superman cartoons, which was clearly inspired by the comics, but it added lore to the Superman character, so it fed off each other and vice versa. I am not the PDD of nothing, carbon dioxide. Nothing! How dare you? I take offense to that, and I don't know why. No, that's because you harassed me, Bear. You harassed me, so I'm allowed to protect myself. Guns and animated cartoons. I know they. You watch the old Woody Woodpecker cartoons, the Bugs Bunny, heck, even some of the older Disney cartoons, and they had no qualms about pulling out guns. But can't do that today. Nope. You can't do guns. You can't do cigarettes. I'll leave that alone. So the characters they check. No, he's a condor. The characters it's a condor, hence the name Condorito. He's a little condor, and obviously cartoonified. Doesn't look like an actual condor, but he's cartoonified. I was on my way home, so the guy in his room with the stream on, and it suddenly stormed and downpoured. I blamed the duck. It stormed here on my end, and we actually had a power outage for a few seconds. So I was trying to prepare myself for a plan B in the event that my power didn't go back on. But like I said, it went out for a few seconds, came back on. It was teetering on going off again, but it hasn't. So we're going live and strong. Why do South American people like bird cartoons so much? Well, as it turned out, Colin, it's because Disney was very influential in South America. So the Carl Bark stuff was influential. The animated movies like Saludos Amigos and Three Caballeros were very influential. So they had that to build on. They were influenced, just like they were also influenced by anime. And one of the next artists I'm going to touch on, the creator of Garmatron, very clear anime influences on that one. Colin says, I bet Road Warrior Drake would do well in South America because it features he's a B citizen, Colin. B citizen. I want a cigar, says Geek Avenger. Smoking duck with a minigun, damn it. Well, Rotor Drake doesn't have many guns. He's got big guns, and they shoot big stuff. He says, "Guy in the room says, yeah, it's insane here. Still going here. The hardest rain I felt in like years, and lightning a ton." So, yeah, we kind of had a tease of that here, but it didn't follow through. So, strong winds, but didn't get beyond that. So, scrolling down more. Ever watch Courageous Cat and Cool McCool? Bob Kane's work after Batman. Oh yeah, I remember that. I definitely remember that. And if I'm not mistaken, they played this on Channel 11 in New York here. I think they did, right? Or am I thinking about a different character? No, actually I am thinking about the same character. So yeah, Courageous Cat, Minute Mouse. Yeah. Absolutely. I remember that. They played those cartoons like bumpers between shows, especially on Channel 11. And I remember they had a cool theme song. You know, we can deviate a bit and let's find it. Let me find that theme song. Let me see. Shall we try another card? Let's not. Let's go back to a strip here. And so those brought up, I will look for the theme song for Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse. Because I haven't heard that in decades. Like I'm gonna actually hear it for the first time in decades. So let's see. Let's see how it sounds. Oh yes, here we go. The theme song for Courageous Cat. All right, hold on. I'm gonna share this. Here we go. Put the volume up. Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse. It's been a decade since I've heard this. Here we go. Any second now. There we Damn. Yeah. Holy shit. This is bringing me back to when I was when I was watching the movies from Channel 11 on the couch, and they played this as a bumper during shows, and I was like, oh wow, those are great times back then. Absolute great times. No, I'm not reading this KSS. I'm not reading that. I should take a wrench for that. Guy in the Gym says, for your information, Elasmat does have cocaine glazing on every page of his Drake comic as a homage to his lineage. So I am not that on the nose. Get it? You get it? If you don't, I'm not going to tell you, but sure. They started out as a product, but their company was going to go bankrupt. So the CEO bought the software back from the investors and released it open source and free. I missed a chat there. Oh, okay, Blender. Okay, yes, so it's open source. Yeah, you got to support open source apps because they don't spy on you like these other apps do. I think once my subscription to Premiere comes up, I might look into an open source platform. I have a bookmark of some open source video edit software, but yeah, I don't need Adobe going into my shit. They can screw off with that. So let's see. Did Pop King actually make this, or did he rip off someone else as he usually did? Fair, Colin. Fair, because it's hard to imagine he could be creative with something else, as Batman is the only character he has created, and that was probably even in conjunction with Finger. Not even Batman was probably just Bob Kane. It's definitely a Batman and Robin parody. Yes, Lady Family Memories for Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse. But as you can see more of the Condorito comics. Let me this open by itself. Let's see. I have to do open image in new tab. Does it enlarge? Here we go. Okay, this enlarges. So there you go. So he says, I'll say it in English so you guys don't have to hear me say it twice. So Condorito goes, waiter, and the server goes, ¿Qué se va a servir, señor? What shall I serve you, my sir? And Condorito says, bring me chicken with French fries and a bottle of wine. The server says, would you like a dessert? This is about an hour later. He goes, would you like a dessert? And Condorito says, no, thank you, nothing more. The server goes, traigo un bajativo. I think, a drink. And Condorito says, no, nothing more. The waiter goes, shall I bring you the bill then? Condorito says, I don't understand Castellano. Do you? Le dicho que no. I said, okay. So he goes, I don't understand Castellano. Do you? I told you I want nothing more. So the server plops because of that. Castellano, by the way, is the official language of South America. We call it Spanish, but Spanish is not the language. The language is Castellano. That much I do know. Spanish is just the nation that from which the language originated from, but Spanish is not the language. It's Castellano. So look at that. Did your city get Buckaroo Bob when you were a kid? They used to play him in Rochester when I was 6. His show like blows the clowns from when I was young outside of Chicago. I don't remember Buckaroo Bob, to be honest with you. You know what? When it came to TV show host, I remember Morgus, Dr. Morgus. If you remember Morgus, he used to show those sci-fi horror films on Channel 11, WPIX in New York City back in the 80s. Morgus was fun to watch. Carbon Dioxide says regarding Courageous Cat, Bob Kane, quote unquote, created it. That is true. Fiona Will says, looking at more comic crowdfunders, and most don't do the basics when it comes to the characters or story. They just mostly do art or variant covers. See, I did variant covers for the first book as a way to get more people to back it, but I also don't want to saturate the market with different versions of the book, so I refrain now from doing I refrain from doing what do you call it? I lost my train of thought. Anyway, I'm going to be inviting a guest on the show. Let me see if he pops up, and I'll tell you why in a second. He did say he was going to be out for a little bit, but I am going to just put it there. So nobody else but my guest is allowed to come on. Let's see. Fiona's comment is a big reason why I'm picky with what I back. You should be picky, Colin. You should absolutely be picky because there's a lot of books out there that most of which are not memorable. And let's be honest, my books are memorable. Whether you think the art is good, whether you think it's not, my books are memorable because it's got you talking and it's got people scratching their heads on why they like it and why it does something to them. Best example of that was Twitless. When he backed it, and he had no choice but to give it a good review. Despite the things he didn't like about it, he absolutely loved the whole of it, and he had to give it a good review. I will take it. A lot of stuff focuses on good art and little character and stories. Colin, I said this point last week and before that, and I'll say it again. Good comics is not about good art. If you're only focusing on the art, you're focusing on one piece of what makes a comic good. It's got to have good writing. If you have good art and good writing, you have a good comic. If you have mid art and good writing, you have a good comic. If you have good art and shitty writing, you got a piece of shit. That's my hot take. So, no, and by the way, good art is, although there's an objective value to good art is still subjective. Yes, there's an objective value to it, but it is still subjective. You would have some people in the indie sphere, and including CG, that would say that the Condorito stuff is not good art, which would make them stupid. But what do I know? I'm just a POC. Fiona says, just linking to webtoons won't cut it. You have to lay out why someone would want to back your project. It's why most of these guys are pray, spray, and no target audience in mind. So Fiona, I was actually sent the DM by, of all people, Student of God, and he actually gave me some interesting feedback. And this feedback I should actually jump on. I have to emphasize that as much as there is action-packed scenes in my books for Road Warrior Drake, it's also a comedy. My books are comedies. Like Street Champion Road Warrior Drake is a comedy, and Beast Citizen Road Warrior Drake is a comedy. It has action scenes. Stakes are high in some of these books, but overall, it's a comedy. It's like Beverly Hills Cop. Like, you know how Beverly Hills Cop is a comedy, but you got some action scenes. You got people killing each other. It's serious when it has to be serious. Well, that's how Road Warrior Drake is. It's a comedy with a lot of action scenes, and in some cases, stakes are high. Colin says, yes, Castellano comes from the word Castilla, which was the kingdom of which formed Spain. Little history lesson there. See, the good thing about my streams is you learn something. You learn a little something. That's awesome. Let me just make sure that I can still be heard. 1 2 1 2. I'm still here. Great. Awesome. That's beautiful. So going back, I call it a terrorist babble, says carbon dioxide. I don't get it. Castilla and Aragon have a political union, calling with the history lesson, and forming into the Kingdom of Spain. There you go, folks. The history of Spain right there. So awesome. Thanks for coming here. Good night. Anyway, okay. I got a request. How about this? Donate $1 or $2 to my PayPal, and I will play the Cool McCool theme. I think I'm allowed. I think I'm allowed. I'm good for. I'm worth it. I'm absolutely worth it. So there is my PayPal link in the chat. I'm worth it. By the way, hail to the people on Rumble watching. If you're watching on Rumble, hail. Leave a comment in the Rumble chat, and if it doesn't pop up on the StreamYard, I will highlight it on a screen share. You will be on the stream. You will be content. Guaranteed. Hot Dog Faye, a.k.a. Emerald Man, still giving me a belly laugh, says Fiona. Cool characters are everything. So I said this, carbon dioxide. I said that one of the problems in indie comics, especially CG, is they're saturating the market with too many team books, too many stories, not enough character IPs. I mentioned how Easy Seeker with Popeye gave a lesson on how to be successful as a comic creator, and that's have a story centered on a character and make that character your IP. Instead of these team up books or these, these 90s image rip-off books or these comics based on standalone stories, put out more character IPs. It'll get more people watching. Why do you think that Brutus the Badass had people talking? Why do you think Cash Grab had people talking? What's another character? Omega Girl, another example of a character that had people talking. Character IPs are where it's at if you do it indie comics. That is how you open the door. That's why Ninja Turtles was successful. That's why Cheech Wizard was successful. That's why Hellboy was successful. Yes, Hot Dog Fairy is one of Colin Lamplin's characters. Me and Colin kind of hinted at possibly doing a crossover. I like crossovers because that's how you build your audience and that's how you build interest in other people's IPs. So I don't know. We'll look into that. I always say Road Warrior Drake is like 48 hours of Beverly Hills Cop. That is a great analogy, KSS. Yes, you're absolutely right. That's a great analogy. I will. No, I'm worth it, KSS. I'm allowed. I am not here to be for free. I deserve to be paid for my labor. Pay to play schemes. I'm allowed. You thought I was different. I'm a POC. I'm poor. I can be. So character IPs are the key to memorable characters, as Hothead Studios. Yeah. Easy Seeker was doing Thimble Theater, and as soon as he introduced Popeye, people wanted Popeye. Thimble Theater slowly stopped, and Popeye was what we have to this day. So it is absolutely the key. But a lot of comic creators, especially writers, don't really understand that. It says modern story writes not just comics, focus on world building first. Start with interesting, compelling characters and a plot. Build the world as you go. Yeah, that's what I do. I build a world of Skullkill and the world that surrounds Road Warrior Drake so that it becomes its own character with unique and memorable characters. See, Beastess and Road Warrior Drake is going to introduce some memorable characters into the Road Warrior Drake lore. So world building is definitely where it's at, for sure. Be honest, Isom himself needs a better costume since his sidecast is already outshining him. He needs a better story. He needs a better story and a better costume. So I'm hoping Eric July does Isom 3 really good because first two didn't set the world on fire. That's for certain. But yeah, I hope he does. Like, give the story to another writer and have them do the character justice. And that way you could salvage the first two books. A crossover would be cool, says Lady Fairlane. Crossovers are such a wasted potential opportunity for a lot of indie creators, especially in CG. Just they haven't capitalized. They haven't built universes. They haven't built networks because they're not business minded. They're stunted. That's another hot take I have. They're stunted. I like his costume. I just don't think that the story is complemented, and as a result, everything about him as a character fails. So I'm hoping that the third book will actually fix those issues. Simpler costumes are usually better. Yeah, simpler and toyetic. Like you want to create a character that would look like a cool toy for a kid and would make that kid want to buy it. That's why Ninja Turtles was so on fire, because instant toy potential for those characters, among others. Just like I think Road Warrior Drake is instant toy potential. I mean, wouldn't you want to buy a Road Warrior Drake figure? I would. And I created the character. Let's see here. Scroll down more. It's cool you have a comic and all. Says but how does Road Warrior Drake speak? Truth to power. How does it fight injustice and ingrained white supremacy? He's a beast citizen guy in his room. He doesn't have to speak truth to power. He has an axe. He'll chop your head off. That's power right there. Chop you nicely and cleanly. You don't have to speak truth to power when you can chop people up in pieces. Colin says simple. He fights injustice by making his enemies go absolute. Oh. Really, Colin? Really? Really? Well, that puts you in the back of the line as far as being next in line for a wrench. Congratulations. You are an honorary POC. You're back in the line now for that one. And here's my original shifter. He says, there is no fix for money poorly spent on ISOM 1 and 2. Yeah, I don't have any interest in the character, so you know, I don't know, maybe miracles can tend to happen, so we'll see. We'll see. You're an honorary POC. You are, Colin. You are an honorary POC. You are super white. Well, now you're super dark. Congratulations. You went from being popcorn to being chocolate. You went from being cookies and cream to feces in a toilet. Congratulations. You are a POC like me. Hope you enjoy it. Guy in his room says, none of this violence, alas, man. Not speaking truth equals endorsing white ultra mags. I'm confused. Colin is honored. Well, I hope you are. What am I going to do? Cut the books up and use number 3 to fill in all the missing story? Perhaps a reset. Perhaps a reset. Do I have a pass? Says Colin Lampling. Oh, you mean the N-word pass? By all means, press your luck. Do it. Yes, you have the pass now. Like me, you have the pass. We can use the words because we are POCs. And we're allowed. And anybody says otherwise, that they're racist. They're absolute racist. So we can do those things. Here's another cover for Condorito. These are comics that you can find online. So this is the third book for Condorito. And that's his girlfriend, his humanoid girlfriend, which I find weird. But it works with the humor because the humor is supposed to be crass. It's supposed to be quote unquote. I hate that word misogynistic. I actually do really hate that word because it's a made up word by feminists who don't like the fact that we can critique women. Men aren't the only ones having to endure criticism. Women can get criticism too. But they call it misogyny because special privileges. Well, not here. But I still think his human girlfriend kind of thing is weird. But let's see. Scroll out here. Guy in the room says, I didn't get ISOM. To me, it looked standard generic, and that's what people said it was. So the criticism is strange to me now. One day there's going to be a documentary on how that book was received early on versus the 180 degree that people turned on with it. For me, I always thought it was just, it wasn't my thing. I thought the artwork was kind of meh, and the story was confirmed just sloppy. People got to stop complicating the origin stories for their characters. Just make it simple. Even if it seems generic, you can do things with it that will actually make it unique and fun. And all people ask for is a fun story. Just make it fun. Nobody can fault any of the specific elements of your book if it's fun. See, that's what I got away with. People didn't like the artwork in Street Champion, Road Warrior Drake. But most people that read it, most that read this book here, or is it the cover for it? Here we go. Most that read it said it was fun. Heck, even Ethan Van Sciver said he was liking it. And I didn't pay him to promote the book. I didn't tell him to promote the book. He just volunteered and said he liked it. You don't believe me? Well, guess what? I shilled it by actually clipping that segment out. Let's see. Let me put it out here for you. I can find it. I do have it. Let's see here. I was scrolling out a little bit here. It's here. It is totally here. Well, it was here. Let's see. No. It is here somewhere. I know it's here because I uploaded it. Did I upload it? I thought I uploaded it. Yeah, I did. Here we go. This is Evening Man Skyward talking about Street Champion Road Warrior Drake.
It looks like a cool Disney character. Road Warrior Drake. I have the book. I read some of it. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I like Azamat. I like him.
Yeah, I like him as a person. I wasn't sure about his comics, but his comics are really good. They're fun to read.
Yeah, they're pretty funny.
You want more Adventures of the Street Champion? Check out RoadWarriorDrake.com. You know you want to.
See, it goes to show it has to be fun. You can get away with whatever art style you put on it if the book is fun. And personally, I think that was one of Isam's biggest failings was it didn't come off as a fun book. I think a lot of it could have been forgiven if it was fun. If your books aren't fun, any work you put into it is going to be all for nothing because it just gets the harshest of criticisms. The worst thing your book can be is boring. That's the absolute worst thing. Scrolling that more down to that. Lady Fairlane asks, if I'm 10 enough, can I be a POC too? If you're 10 enough, and yes, you can be a POC, but you have to at least have one documented incident of being pushed to the back of the bus. Then you are an honorary POC. So we need documentation of being put to the back. A lot of artists don't even do fun cover art anymore. No, the covers are shit in a lot of these indie books. You got to they put in either too much detail or they're very simplistic with the design, and it's not dynamic. It has to be dynamic, and you could have the most detailed, intricate, drawn piece. If it ain't stylistically designed, it's not going to grab anybody's attention. Misogynistic. Oh, I like that one. Misogynistic. I'll take that one. Misogynistic. Shift is that. See, when this guy gives me a compliment, he has to put in his insult on there. Why can't that be allowed? Why can't that be allowed? I'm allowed. This is a good point by Fiona. She says, I guess in regards to Isam, it's mostly due to Eric July being good at breaking down what he doesn't like versus his marketing ability, and the comic didn't live up to the hype generated. So, yeah, good marketing, but I guess this is interesting. So, focusing too much on what you hate is probably not a good means to produce something that you want people to like. You want to be inspired by what you like, not motivated by what you hate. That's a good point. There's a Star Wars quote there somewhere, but I don't want to quote Star Wars because Star Wars is shit right now. Guys, he could easily make it good from here, and people would forget the early ones. That's what I'm banking on, but we'll see. He can salvage the first two if the third book is kick-ass. But we'll see. No, Carol, we're not letting you shill. You cannot shill your Ducks, Zombies, Peanuts book here. Totally not. Guys, I would say Cyberfrog 1 didn't meet the hype either. That's a tough one for me because I love the artwork in Cyberfrog Blood Honey. He sold me on some of it and I was like, yeah, that looks dope. And I bought it and I really love the artwork. I love the presentation. I love the chromium cover. I love those things about it. And it's an important footnote in the history of not just in the CG, but in underground comics. But I do have to say, I was kind of deflated by the story. I felt like more could have been added to give us a complete story, which is why I say my books are complete stories. They have a beginning, a middle, and a resolution. So my guarantee is you're not going to read my book and feel deflated or feel like you were cheated out of a payoff. Guaranteed on that one. And if you don't believe me, ask Twitless. He reviewed it and he liked it. Heck, even Ethan liked it. I know what I'm doing. Believe it or not, I know what I'm doing. So scroll down more because I'm a little behind in the chat. So Master Pan says, I went to go eat dinner and I missed a bunch of school. You can always catch it on the replay. So that's a beautiful thing about these streams is I keep it at 2 hours, a little under, so you guys can watch it and replay if you missed good chunks of it. Instead of these 3, 4, or 12-hour marathon streams, I keep it at under 2 so that there is enough of content for you to watch it over and over again and to have a blast and to learn stuff. I do like EVS's art, but Cyberfuck isn't the kind of setting I want either. Yeah, I mean, I have my criticisms of it. But I'm banging on my characters being liked by people. I know I got some fans of Carolina White. Yeah, you know what? And what you're doing, Colin, is what One did. It's what Ipatu did, these manga artists, where they uploaded their pages on Twitter and got people to react to it, and they build their audience that way. We get it. We've seen the EVS clip, and you're going to see it. You know, just for that guy in the room, you're going to see it again.
It looks like a cool Disney character. Road Warrior Drake. I have the book. I read some of it. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I like Azamat. I like him.
Yeah, I like him as a person. I wasn't sure about his comics, but his comics are really good. They're fun to read.
Yeah, they're pretty funny.
You want more Adventures of the Street Champion? Check out RoadWarriorDrake.com. You know you want to.
KSS says, I used the first Star Wars and Shrek because they essentially had the same basic plot. Save the princess, but the characters are what captured the audience. Well, Star Wars in particular was a mashup of different IPs. The Hidden Fortress by Akira Kurosawa. Toei's Magic Serpent was another influence on it. So, Pac Dump for the win. Yes, Lady Fairlane has joined the Pac army. So, any harassment of her is going to result in me going for a free TV at Walmart. So, don't do it. I argue the most recent cover of Emerald Man is fun. Why don't you send me the link to it on my DM and I'll show it. Let's see what a fun cover looks like. Let's showcase some fun art, some good, decent, fun, alternative art. So you guys can see that there's a lot of that still in our indie community. Let me go forward in the chat. So I'm trying to catch up here. Massive Pens. I hope that's the case for all us creators. So many of us make tons of mistakes in the beginning. I just hope the audience is forgiving to let us grow and improve along the way. A lot of that comes with A, good faith, and B, having a good story right out the bat. You got to have something good right off the bat in terms of a story that's fun and entertaining, and your audience will not only stick with you, but they'll help build on top of it. One did that with One Punch Man. So, yeah, just have a good story out from the bat, and they'll forgive the art and everything else with it. I did not promote anything, Colin. Stop it. I didn't promote jack squat. And I was going to share this with you. I was going to share your cover for the Emerald Man and showcase the nice colors on that. And see, the colors are vibrant, and you can see like the contrast of the green with the red and white and the blue stands out. Oh, I would say like, well, no, because it's emerald, so you want it to be green. But yeah, that's a good example of a cover that stands out because it's simplistic, but it's the colors are vibrant. And I like the character designs on that. That's very cartoonish. See, cartoonish, it invites escapism. So cool. Wait, what did Lord Raptor say? Did Lord Raptor say something? Where was he? I didn't see Lord Raptor anywhere. What are you talking about? Where's he at? What did he say? I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything there. Massa says, oh, wait a second. I know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Bear? No. Lord Raptor's doing a good job with his streams. But I think even he would admit they're good to watch live. You got to watch them live because part of the appeal of those streams is the unprecedented, unpredictable nature of guests showing up and just entertaining you with all kinds of fights and so forth, like the old days of Oz. Now, as a panel says, I'm going to utilize your philosophy in the future, last Matt. I want all my issues in the future to be somewhere self-contained and have their own beginning, middle, and ends. No more long-winded sagas. So, yeah, that is the key. And I'm probably, I don't care, I'll say it. I'm hearing from a lot of people that John Malin's got fell short of expectations because he did that glorified prologue thing where he didn't show a complete story. And that is a big mistake. If you're a comic creator, don't do that. Especially if you're putting out books every 3 to 4 years, have a self-contained story in those books. At the very least, you reward your audience's faith in you by giving them some kind of resolution so they can wait patiently for the next book. I don't look like a peanut bear. Stop it. Stop it. I don't look like a peanut. Guidance Room says, don't get me wrong, I like the art in Cyberfrog, but it wasn't groundbreaking. No, I have to agree. The art was great, but the story it needed a better, it needed a fuller resolution. I'll say it's like that. Don't encourage her, Guidance Room. Don't encourage her. Don't you dare. Shifter asks, what does it cost to let people become pogs? Do I get a cut? Are you threatening with violence, Shifter? Do you get a cut? No, you don't get a cut because I won't allow you to. I pack. I'm packing. Try a cut, and you may get a glaze if I'm feeling nice to you. Then again, if you threaten me with a cut, that kind of automatically makes you a pog. So that might give you some. That might give you some pog cred. I'll tell you that, but I can't promise otherwise. I should get out of that now because back to chilling my stuff. There we go. So more Road Warrior Drake stuff. I have not heard from my guest yet if he's coming to come on. He did say that it was not guaranteed, so I didn't hold him to it. But I'm just leaving it there in case he does come on because he made a review of a book. It was an interesting review, and I kind of wanted to talk about it here live because I had some questions about it. No, this won't be a well-read review. I do plan on making it entertaining, like this Condorito book here. So much censorship, says Bear. No, not censorship. Art and aesthetics. Art and aesthetics. So, yes, I will play that EBS clip with some blue in the face. As a matter of fact, since you asked for it, here we go.
It looks like a cool Disney character, Road Warrior Drake. I have the book. I read some of it. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I like Azamat. I like him.
Yeah, I like him as a person. I wasn't sure about his comics, but his comics are really good. They're fun to read.
Yeah, they're pretty funny.
You want more Adventures of the Street Champion? Check out RoadWarriorDrake.com.
See, I will keep playing if you keep asking for it. Collins, I never read Cyberfolk. I usually have a hard time liking characters like that who are just animal-human hybrids and having 90s edge. Well, Road Warrior Drake doesn't have 90s edge. I can promise you that. He has... there's elements of even going back to the 60s. So I try to do 90s, 90s edgelord type thing because it gets played out real fast. Road Warrior Drake is more like innocent with his quips. One of the things I did with Drake, and I made this choice during the second draft of the book, was there was a lot of F-bombs in the book, a lot of cursing in the book. I removed all the F-bombs and left very little swearing, if none at all. And it's allowed me to be creative with his quips. And I think that's one of the best decisions I made creatively. So I don't and yes, I corrupted Ethan. I made him retarded because I'm retarded. That's me. This is true, but you know what? I'm a POC. I'm allowed. So you can't critique me because I don't make you racist. So protect yourself. Don't be stop it. Stop, Carol. Stop it. Stop it. Again with the violence. I'm trying to do streaming. You got to promote violence. I got a shower, says KS says. I'm gonna be late for Slumlords. Well, no, you'll be on time because, as you know, those streams don't start till like 10 after or 15 after. So you'll actually be on time. You may actually come before. So you may be clean before the stream for Slumlord starts, which is technically in half an hour. So we have half an hour more before we call it a night. Colin says, I'm not saying I would hate Road Warrior Drake. He's not the D word, Colin. Stop it. He's not the D word. I warned you. Our problem is with weird frogs. Well, I don't know what you have against the French, but they've been good to me. So hail to the French. Guy Jim says, frogs are gay now. Well, they do have a immigrant crisis going on over there in France, so that's potentially a thing. Stop it, Carol. You're gonna get my channel struck. I don't want my channel struck. Stop it. What are you guys doing in the chat? What did you become insane all of a sudden? Stick to the topic. I have a lot of problems with the French. I am mostly Anglo blood. Oh, that's why. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. I don't know what to tell you, but good luck to you because that's going to be one big hill to climb. That is for certain. One big hill to climb. Going back to one of my earlier pages. Okay, so let's go back to this one here with Condorito. More Condorito stuff. go down more. Here's another panel from. Can I enlarge these? Yes, I can. There we go. An older black and white panel from his earlier comics. They had that Walter Lance feel to it too. Walter, less Xavier, more Walter Lance. Maybe some. Definitely more, that will say more Walter Lance appeal. I wonder if Woody Woodpecker was showing. I think he was. I think Woody Woodpecker was showing in the 40s in South America. So there's definitely that Woody Woodpecker influence there. Master Panda says, I think that was a good idea, Lasma. A lot of people say that rules are restraining, but when you set up rules for your storytelling, it forces you to be creative. In your case, subbing out cursing. Yeah, it allowed me to like really focus and discipline and keep the story straight. Like I said, it was like one of the best creative choices I made because it had the potential of being another edgelord 90s type comic book, and I didn't want that. I was focusing more on the 80s, and the 80s, as dark as the 80s were, there was still room for creativity without relying on being too adult. So I wanted to go that route with Road Warrior Drake. No, Colin. No. Why are you trying to sabotage my enterprises? Why? I allow you to stay in my chat. You almost became an honorary POC, but now you had to do that. Well, congratulations. Now you're back to being a white man. Enjoy it. Enjoy your privilege. I hope you love it. Now with French fries has gone in his room. Freedom fries. Don't get me started on that. Woo! Talk about nationalism going grim derp. No, not grim derp. Well, that's just pure derp. When nationalism goes derp, you get freedom fries. So let us not speak of that again. How profane his language is. One thing I learned about Cerebus is he substituted certain foul words with different type of words that you never heard of, and it made for much more fun reading. At least with the earlier books in the Cerebus saga. Bear asks a question. He says, I need to know, do I qualify as a POC with me being 50% Irish? Not a POC. There is a different designation for you because of that. You know what's funny is that when I identified as an Irishman for a few months, a couple years back, I got some intense, nasty pushback from some of the UK members of our community. I was called a pikey, a Mick, all that stuff. I was treated worse than a black man. I was like, wow. Irish really are hated in Europe. But that's why I'm an honorary Irishman, because I identify with them as a POC who is equally oppressed in the States of America. So, freedom dip. This guy in his room. No. You're gonna have to take in this stream in a realm I didn't anticipate. Oh yeah, I gotta talk about this for a second. The Condorito movie. That's right. There was a movie in 2017 about Condorito. It was directed by a British guy. I don't know. And Alex O'Reilly from Pixar helped with the visuals. Let's look for that trailer. So the Condorito movie, and they did dumb this down. So they didn't have any of the shock appeal of the comics. So it wasn't quote unquote misogynistic. It was more dumbed down for the modern audiences. Oh, this looks like shit. Hold on. Here we go. This is the Condorito movie trailer. Here we go.
Welcome back to Pelote Stadium. Look at Condorito go!
Condorito!
Oh gosh.
My love for you.
They said his name so important too. As Lionsgate ever done?
Yaita is my life. I must save Yaita from Pepe.
Holy shit! Wow.
Just what are you planning to do? Propose marriage.
Wow, this kind of reminds me of the Disney movie Coco. And even that movie was like, yeah, there was. Anyway, let me continue on here. Hold on. I did a thing. Here we go.
To Condorito! To Condorito! Are you loco? My eyes! You will never marry my daughter! Treme? Ta-da! I kept the receipt.
Mom,
They
please.
did the mother
Sometimes
like
I
this,
wish
yeah.
someone would just come and take me away from this living hell.
Yeah, they had the mother-in-law joke. Oh man, this looks bad. That looks really bad. Holy mackerel. Let me check the chat for a second. Masterpan is I like when creators make up slang for the alternate world. Remember how in Batman Beyond they would always call each other drag as insults or say sway to refer to something cool. Or remember like in Alienation, if you remember Alienation, they referred to the aliens as slags. That was pretty cool because that was just developing a new culture of words there. So Barrett says, I don't care about that. Is not true. That's not true, Shifter. I do care. I have love for you people. But you don't love me. So for every hate that I get from you, I'm getting a free TV from Walmart. Because I'm allowed and I deserve it. No, that's why I'm pausing it. That's why I'm speaking over it. Fair use. Fair use. I mean, excuse me. Sorry about that. I'm choking on popcorn. I mean, it's on YouTube for goodness sakes. Why do I have the banner saying stream starting soon? That's so stupid of me. I can't believe I've been playing that for the last hour and a half. Yeah, it looks like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Sausage Party. Remember Sausage Party? It has that same type of CGI. I'm probably none of the wit. Although I've never seen Sausage Party, so I'm not sure how witty it is, but yeah, this looks bad. Anyway. Maybe you can check a little too. Let's see.
You will never see Timmy Bunda ever again. He beat his pants, right? Huh? What do you mean we're still on?
I'm gonna get her back.
Tickle your see? Tickle your feather. That's racist. Absolute racism right there. Tickle your feather. They're gonna come up with a better tagline than that. Tickle your feather.
Earth forces are preparing a mission to stop the aliens.
Only a complete bird brain would sneak into that ship. But where to find such an idiot?
Boss, take me to my shuttle.
See, the character works better in situations, not in like epic stories like this. It just dumbs him down. It makes him just another character in an adventure story that is pretty mid. Jimmy Neutron looked better than this. Yeah, this is not good looking at all. And I would even excuse it if they actually stuck to the tone of the comics, which they clearly aren't doing that. We don't know what to do, says guy in his room. Ugh. What should we do with the story? Let's put aliens in it. You see how bad that sounds? Let's take a comic that features a condor in typical human situations with beautiful misogynistic jokes, racism, ethnicism, alcoholism, smoking, all that good stuff, and we'll just set it in a story where alien invasions happen. Yeah, that's an excellent story. We'll solve that story. So we'll take a character that built a following on whatever formula they had, and we're going to make a movie out of it, but replace that formula with something completely different, generic, and mid, and there's our movie. This is the kind of movie that aging actors will be blackmailed by Harvey Weinstein to do for a little pay. Oh, I'm sure that there are people that take the names off this resume for sure. I will not cast Mango. It's Mango. Yowie. No, I'm good. Thanks. No Yowie for me. Okay, here we go.
7, 6, 5.
Wow.
5.
This is terrible.
Lift off.
Oh my goodness.
Autopilot.
Starting autopilot.
Which was the autopilot? Mamma mia.
Let's have an adventure.
Oh no, they have the kid in there. Oh no. Wow. They went the Disney thing and put the kid in there. He has a kid and the kid's doing kid things because kids are supposed to be cool. See, they sold this thing like a kid's movie, and it's not. It's not supposed to be a kid's movie. It's supposed to be, you can make a case for all ages, but where's the smoking? Where's the quote unquote misogyny? Where's all the good stuff? No wonder this movie didn't do so good. It's almost as bad as what they did with Howard the Duck. No jokes. No, a guy from Pixar worked on this movie, but it's actually Lionsgate. They did this movie. They're to blame for this mess. I'm not reading this, Bear, but I'm documenting it because I want the abuse and the harassment to be documented. Lady Fairley says she'd watch it. I guess I'd probably just check it out just to say I did it, but I don't know if I get through the first 20 or so minutes because with what I have read of Condorito, there's a certain flavor to it that you can't compromise. Otherwise, it's not the character. It's just you took the image and put it in your own crappy fan fiction. So, Scrappy Doo, Godzuki, yeah, that's what this kid is. It's like Godzuki, Scrappy Doo, jump the shark character.
Don't worry, dear. Condorito is the smartest chicken that I've ever met.
Let's go find her. I demand an explanation!
See, they took his identity. They took his identity from the Chilean culture, and they tried to appropriate it with American or Western ideology, and it's a bland character and a bland movie. This is this is how mad I am. I'm so mad I dropped my mic on the floor. Oh, damn it. I'm so mad. Is my testing 1 2? Okay, good. Yes. I don't know why my thing went blank. It shouldn't go blank. Let's see here. Let me start. There we go. Yeah, my OSB is not cooperating right now. Let's see here. I'll just have to stop these share. There we go. I'll just have to go back to my icon for now. I'm so mad that they made this thing so mid looking and so mid sounding. They're catering to the kids, which you said should be done. Here's the thing, though: the comics already was doing that. See, there's a difference between catering to, meaning like keep it open for kids to watch, but don't dumb it down for the adults either. See, they went the opposite direction. They one of the problems that indie comics has is they'll make it so adult oriented that kids can't read it because it's mature. But then you have the other end of the spectrum, which is you make it so dumbed down for like 5-6-year-olds that an adult couldn't watch it more than once and not care to even watch it, remember it, and spend money on it. So you go from one extreme to the other instead of just making it as general enough for anybody to read it and or watch it. Yep, Lionsgate for sure. Because that would appeal to men, and men are bad at Lasma. I know you can't have good things for men because that's sexist. I don't understand this, Colin Lamprey. Parents will take their children who have no attention span, so the plot doesn't actually matter. Yes, that's true. That's true, except that parents tend to be a bit more wiser when it comes to certain movies. See, Toy Story and WALL-E and those movies, they did well because there was enough information put out there for parents to know that, oh, this is an intelligent movie. I think I will go enjoy it myself with the kids. Rather than just take their kids to see it, to have them see it, they're going along and bringing their kids. That's how you have a good all ages classic story. This is La Basura. Yes, it is. This is, or you can just say this is basura. You don't have to put the word la. This is basura. And I agree, it is. We have a Corn Pop sighting. Hello, Corn Pop. Welcome to the chat. We have another 15 minutes before we call it a stream. My guess probably is not going to show up, but again, I didn't say he would. He left it open. He possibly could, but I like to watch material. No, I don't. How dare you? That is fake news. Everybody's Cthulhu's in that chat says this might be stupid, but why do movies ever need the subtitle "the movie"? Because it's a marketing thing. It's you have the character, but now you have the movie. It's Condorito, the movie, not just the character. It's the movie because you're differentiating from the fact that he started out in comics. So now we're gonna let the world and announce the world and let them know he's in a movie now. The movie. So, it is a joke. The crack against hack producers. I don't remember the comment. Oh, you're talking about the parents. Yeah, I get it. I totally understand. Master Pandas, I agree. Remember how all the so-called adults were crying about how the original 1990 Ninja Turtles movie was too dark and violent, and then they made the follow-up films that really kiddie, bright, and goofy. Oh yeah, I remember the controversy clear as day when that first movie came out. It was insane. All the news segments by parents saying, "Oh, it's too violent." It's like, and I'm like, yeah, the comics were that way too. And guess what? Fights tend to be violent. You know, it's martial arts tends to be violent, but it was actually and people don't argue this. To this day, it's still the best Ninja Turtle motion picture out of every single movie ever made, including the original series, the two films that came out, and then the CGI related movie, and then the Michael Bay movies. Of all those movies that came out, the first Ninja Turtles from 1990 is still the best one because it's intelligent and mature, and kids can still watch it, and it's suitable for them. But no, the parents just couldn't allow it. We can't have that because it's too violent, you know, because good guys beating bad guys. We can't have that. Can't have that. This is true, guys. I am guapo. I am very guapo. So no argument for me. No, there will not be a musical. Stop typing this. Stop speaking this into existence. I won't allow it. I will play my sausage, and you can't stop me. I'm allowed, and I'm going to do it. So, Condorito, the video game, the novel, the graphic comic book of that. I'm going to see when I mess up. I'm just going to speak Chinese going forward. I don't care. Oh boy, let me just take a quick drink of my water as I highlight this comment. Yes, the original Ninja Turtles will always be the absolute best. And what's fucked up is they still haven't put out, as good as that movie was and as influential as that movie was and as important as that movie was, it's been what, 30 years? 34 years, and we still don't have a definitive DVD or Blu-ray of it. It's ridiculous. It's a joke that movie does not have a definitive DVD or Blu-ray of it yet. After 34 years, you find that movie in like the compilation DVDs of the other Turtles movies, and I'm like, well, dude, like, well, you talk about a moneymaker. Do a standalone DVD or Blu-ray of that movie with all kinds of special features. It'll sell out like hotcakes. But movie studios don't want to make money, so I guess you know, you can't have nice things. They don't want to make money. So, don't know what to say. Why don't you tell us parents that bloodshed occurs during sword fights? We're offended, boomers. You know, I wonder, like, when Star Wars came out, like, if the parents were upset about, you know, stormtroopers killing people or stormtroopers being killed. I wonder if they were upset about that. I can only imagine that they were upset about that. So, who knows? Anyway, okay, I got my USB working again, so don't got to worry about that Avatar. So they have 2 and 3 on Blu-ray, but not 1. No, they don't. They have them all like in one collection. So like, if you were to go to Walmart or someplace else, you would have like one box with all 3 movies, all 3 live action movies. Or in some cases, they'll have the 3 live action movies and the TNMT movie that came out, because I think that movie is canon with those first 3 movies. But they'll have them all in a collection, but they won't have like the first one in its own special set because it deserves its own special set. I don't think there's any question about it. I love the first 2 as a kid, but not the third. Same with Back to the Future. Well, I liked all 3 Back to the Future movies, but Secret of the Ooze. The one thing I liked about Secret of the Ooze was the Toga and Razor characters, and I'm just gonna show you very quickly. I have my Toga figure from NECA right here. This is an awesome figure. Look how big this guy is. This will poke a baby's eye. So this is great. But I like Toga. This is an awesome suitmation, practical effects. That's the one thing about that movie I will say was good, is the practical effects. So, but the story, it was done too soon because they wanted to capitalize on the success of the first movie. But you could tell it was rushed. Best part of 3 was the Japanese warriors dancing with Baltimore. Don't remember that one as well. But yeah, that third one. Although the third one had better fight scenes than Secret of the Ooze. That's the one thing I'll say about the third movie, was the fight scenes were better. especially the scene where Leonardo is having that sword fight with that guy. It was pretty good. I will give it that. It was good. Yeah, I got to sit down and watch the first one again. I think I'm due to rewatch it and just appreciate it for what it is. A very well made independent comic book movie. Yeah, no, that's what I was talking about. And yeah, I know they're on DVD and Blu-ray, but what I'm saying is the first movie deserves its own DVD and Blu-ray with its own special features. It's due for a 35th anniversary edition. And honestly, this year, this is what the 40th anniversary of the Ninja Turtles creation. Yeah, this is the 40th anniversary. Eastman and Laird 40 years ago created the Ninja Turtles and produced the first comic book. We should have had a definitive DVD Blu-ray of that movie. I think it's bullshit we don't. So, yeah, that was NECA. NECA produced that, and I have a Razor upstairs in my room, but I actually prefer Toka. I think Toka just looks dope. So, Colin is heading to bed. Have a good night, Colin. Thanks for stopping by. We're gonna end the stream soon, so you pretty much got the gist of it. So, thank you for participating. That Tarzan Boy song in 3 was great. Ha ha ha. Oh man, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was for the movie, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Master Panda, if once you become a POC, you walk every day of your life avoiding cancellation because cancellation becomes like your social security number. It's a part of you whether you like it or not. Anything Mango sends me, I don't like to press. I'm muted now. There we go. Okay, so I'm back. Let me see. According to you, I think I've only been muted for 2 minutes. Just muted for 2 minutes. There you go. Okay, so I don't know what was the last thing you heard me say. Well, anyway, before that, I was reading this comment by Guy in His Room, and I was saying you should get Depakote. It works wonders if you have seizures. I did it. I tried it, and I've been seizure free ever since. So, but yeah, my background gives a nice little character visually to my streams, rather than the boring aesthetics. You get this, so yeah, I like the movable background. I like a little deviation from the norm. So, the girl in the background, that was the photo I was just showing, given the side eye, had a nice Brazilian butt lift. I think they had natural butts then. This is South America, so they didn't shame thick women like the West does. Oh no, they celebrated it for sure. So anyway, I think we're gonna call it a stream here. But shout out to the people at Rumble. We've had 3 to 4. Let's see. Well, we have somebody in the Rumble chat. What are they playing here? What the hell? I This is okay. I gotta show this. Hold on. So somebody on the Rumble stream. Let me go ahead and show this here. Before I close out, I'll just end it with this. Somebody on the Rumble side posted a link on the YouTube channel. Inception. So I clicked on that link, and it got me to this. Like what? And it's some weird song, and it's. I played a little bit of it. I didn't care for it, and it's just this image. It's just this image. I don't know. Am I giving this guy free press? Who cares? It's weird. But it's proof that people in Rumble are human beings. Absolute human beings. Yes, Carol, it's over. You can stop throwing tables at me now. Real New Yorkers are supposed to hate Times Square. Well, this is true. That's why they loot and riot over there. So this is true. Stop fapping to the chat, you perv. I am giving homage to people in the chat because they are the chat republic. Who was the secret? Well, no, I'm not going to shame him because he didn't commit to it. So I left room open to the possibility he couldn't show up. So it's all good. It really is. It's no shame. No shame. Anyway, let me go. And there we go. This is how it should be. So thanks to everybody tuned in. Thanks for joining in for another wonderful stream. And we're going to get ready to prepare ourselves to go to the slum streams on Dark Gift Comics channel. I feel like bots go to Rumble chat streams. Well, probably. I guess so. Anyway, good night, folks. I'll see you guys possibly next Wednesday. If Dark Gift doesn't do Indie Comics Coxfight, I'll be back on Thursday. But if not, it'll be next Wednesday. And we'll see who next week's artist is. Until then, Hayawata.